Coming up tonight on Middle Tennessee News. A discovery of human remains may help to solve a missing persons case, and a murder investigation with Murfreesboro Police has unfolded.
Another member of the Chrisley family has been put behind bars, and residents of Wilson County show what it means to be a good neighbor. All those stories, plus your local weather and sports, Middle Tennessee News starts right now.
Good evening, I'm Sarah Oppman.
And I'm Kara Fullington. Welcome to Middle Tennessee News. Police have found the shooter responsible for the death of a Murfreesboro woman. The MPD Criminal Investigation Division discovered the body of 30-year-old Eva Silver on Tuesday, March 14th. Officers responded to the report around 11 a.m. Her body was found inside her residence at the Garrison Station Apartments on Fortress Boulevard. Responding officers say she had been shot to death and had identified her boyfriend, Tyler Gardner, as a suspect. Gardner traveled to his parents' home in Hendersonville, where he eventually shot and killed himself after a standoff with the police. Specific details about the case are still being looked at by Murfreesboro and Hendersonville detectives.
A human skull recently found in DeKalb County could be a break in a missing persons case. Officials believe the skull could belong to 29-year-old Matthew Broswell. Broswell has been missing since December 17, 2021. Broswell's last location was inside of a Chevy Tahoe that crashed into a wooded area near Ponder Road. The skull was discovered roughly a mile and a half away near Center Hill Lake on Tuesday. Anthropologists with MTSU were recently able to confirm that the skull is human, but a link to Broswell is still not confirmed. Broswell's family has been informed of this potential discovery. We'll have more information on this case as it continues.
Reality star Todd Chrisley's son was charged with an assault in Tennessee. Kyle Chrisley, whose father was the star of Chrisley Knows Best, was charged in Smyrna for aggravating assault. Kyle currently works for a truck rental company in Smyrna, Tennessee, but got into a physical altercation with his supervisor. This comes just months after both his father and stepmother were sentenced to several years in prison for bank fraud and tax evasion. Todd received 12 years in prison, while his wife, Julie, received 7. Kyle Chrisley was booked in the Rutherford County Jail and was later released on a $3,000 bond.
Mount Juliet debuts a brand new emergency medical services division. The city's own ambulance division was introduced and approved for the 2022 and 23 budget by the Mount Juliet Board of Commissioners. City commissioners allocated $1.8 million towards this endeavor. Eric Newman will serve as the city's Chief of Emergency Medical Services under interim Fire Chief Joey Edwards. The Fire Department of Mount Juliet will continue to respond to calls for EMS transport if needed. They will continue to work in partnership with Wilson County Emergency Management Agency, and Wilson County 911 will continue to provide dispatch of the fire and EMS units.
The Wilson County School Board met on Monday, and a decision was made that may affect all Wilson County schools and students going forward.
Due to the rapid increase in vaping and fentanyl poisoning, Wilson County is joining many others in an initiative to prevent injuries by stocking up on Narcan and EpiPens.
This is about saving lives, and regardless of what people's thoughts are, we have to have the ability. Our nurses will be trained. Of course, they're more than capable. I think we're so proud of what we do in Wilson County.
Fentanyl is a common drug found in narcotics and prescribed medication, making it easily available to many. In turn, fentanyl-related overdoses have been steadily increasing. Wilson County made the decision to keep Narcan in schools to save the life of anyone experiencing an overdose.
And we need to give them the tools that they need on a daily basis to take care of our kids.
Just last week, a Williamson County resource officer saved a young boy's life after finding him unresponsive in a parking lot. The officer used 2 Narcan doses, which helped the student return to a stable condition, saving his life. Wilson County Board member Carrie Pfeiffer mentioned that it is important to have the tools to be prepared in case of an emergency.
But I pray that it's never necessary, but it is better to be prepared than to be sorry.
Reporting from Wilson, Tennessee, I'm Sarah Ottman, Middle Tennessee News.
Wilson County Schools said school nurses will receive training as well as anyone who volunteers to learn how to administer Narcan and EpiPens. The goal is to have all supplies in all Wilson County schools by the end of the school year. The Wilson County community has banded together to support a local resident who was recently injured by a boat injury. Cody Lindell was fishing on Old Hickory Lake when his boat hit something and his motor flipped on board. A local resident, Ken Nelson Jr. with Blackwell Realty and Auction, felt sympathy with Cody and wanted to help. Nelson organized his annual chili cook-off, auction, and cornhole tournament on March 11th, and he hoped to raise $20,000 for Cody and his family through his recovery. In the end, the event raised over $54,000. A GoFundMe has been made for Cody, and it has received over double the amount of the $10,000 goal. Cody is back from the hospital, and his family is asking for prayers as he embarks on a road of long recovery.
And now Mary Beth Mangrum joins us with our first look at the weather. Mary Beth.
Thanks, Sarah. The sun is out all across Middle Tennessee today. Make sure you enjoy it while it lasts. Our highs are pretty consistent throughout all of our counties. Murfreesboro, Woodbury, McMinnville, and Shelbyville all have a high of 57. Manchester has a high of 56, and Mount Juliet and Smithville both have highs of 55. Next, I'll have your lows and information on some rain coming up later on in the week. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Mary Beth. When we come back from our break, we'll have Dr. Larry Burris with this week's media commentary, and Motorsports Fan will hear some exciting news about Nashville. All that coming up next on Middle Tennessee News. Stick around.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right, because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign, not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back, and now we have Dr. Larry Burris who joins us for this week's media commentary.
The double murder case against Alex Murdaugh came to an end with his conviction and sentencing. However, during the numerous and varied pre-trial and trial activities, the problem of balancing the Sixth Amendment guarantees of a fair trial with the First Amendment guarantees of a free press were again evident. Simply put, the central question is, do newspaper, broadcast, and internet accounts of crime influence jurors and perhaps bias them against the accused? In the American judicial system, guilt or innocence is to be determined in a court of law. Jurors are expected to render a decision based on the evidence and testimony presented during a trial, not based on reports in the media. That's as it should be. However, the argument is sometimes made that if potential jurors read or see or hear anything in the news media about the trial or about the accused, they will somehow be unable to put those news reports aside and will be unable to render a judgment based on the evidence and testimony. The argument, to say the least, is debatable. In many ways, a free press, as guaranteed by the First Amendment, provides a way of implementing the concept of a fair trial, as expressed in the Sixth Amendment. The First Amendment allows the public to see the judicial process in action, so that the public at large can determine if the system itself is working in the best interests of both the state and the accused. In many countries, secret trials, unfortunately, are the norm, and the public is served a steady diet of rumors, misconceptions, and outright lies about what is happening to those accused of crimes. It's also a myth that attorneys are interested in obtaining a completely unbiased jury. Defense attorneys try to impanel those people who will be sympathetic to their clients. The prosecution wants jurors who will find a defendant guilty. Both sides rely on biases, preconceived notions, and the recognition that personality traits can indicate which jurors will render favorable verdicts. To be sure, news coverage can inflame public opinion both for and against a defendant. But the judicial system itself has a host of remedies at its disposal. Juries can be sequestered. A change of venue can be ordered. The judicial system itself, through the appellate process, can negate any supposed biases produced by pretrial publicity. The U.S. Supreme Court has not shown itself unwilling to order new trials when it has perceived what it has called a pattern of deep and bitter prejudice against a defendant. The American system of government needs both a free press and fair trials. The Sixth Amendment guarantees defendants' rights. The First Amendment guarantees that the public knows those rights are not being violated. I'm Larry Burris.
Thank you, Dr. Burris, and make sure to tune in next week for his next media commentary.
The Franklin County Board of Education has named the next director of schools. Dr. Carrie Holman has been given the position after a decision was made at a meeting on Monday night. Holman will begin as director after serving as the Laverne Middle School principal since 2012. The vote, 5-3, was won by Holman over Dr. Roger Alsup. Holman will replace Stanley Bean as director when Bean retires at the end of this academic school year. As school director, Holman said his vision is to empower, encourage, and accelerate Franklin County schools.
MTSU School of Music will be featuring the Stones River Chamber Players to perform their season finale through a free concert on Monday, March 27th. Through the mutual connection between MTSU and the Stones River, they have decided to bring a bright musical viewpoint within the community. There will be a minimum of 6 songs performed by a variety of clarinet, horn, saxophone, cello, percussion, trombone, trumpet, piano, tuba, bassoon, and oboe players. This event serves as an opportunity for family and friends to enjoy a fun-filled night with beautiful classical music. For more information, go to www.mtsumusic.com. And now Mary Beth is back with tonight's forecast. Mary Beth, what do you have for us?
Thanks, Sarah. Let's get into our lows for tonight. Expect temperatures to drop to the low 30s once the sun sets. Mount Juliet will be the warmest at 34 degrees. Murfreesboro, Manchester, Woodbury, and Shelbyville can expect a low of 32. McMinnville will reach a low of 31, and Smithville will hit an even 30 degrees tonight. There won't be any showers coming around just yet, but you can expect a few clouds here and there. The rain won't show up until later on in the week, which I'll get to when we visit our 5-day forecast next. Make sure you stick around after this break to find out when and where you'll need to break out your umbrella. Sarah, back to you.
Thanks, Mary Beth. And when we come back, Mary Beth will join us with our full weather report leading us into the weekend. And Matthew Hayden joins us in the MTN Sports Den with all things Blue Raider athletics leading us into this weekend. Stick around after the break.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back, and now we have Mary Beth who has our full weather report. Mary Beth.
Thanks, Sarah. It's currently around 55 degrees outside and sunny, but that's going to change. Today we can expect a high of 57 and a low of 32 with a 0 chance of rain. But as we move into Thursday, our temperatures and chance of rain seem to rise. Expect a high of 65 and a low of 54. And when the sun sets, there's going to be some night showers. During the day, though, a partly cloudy sky will be visible. Hopefully no one's St. Patrick's Day plans will get rained out. We do have a 76% chance of rain on Friday. Let's hope you're feeling lucky that day and remember a raincoat. Expect a high of 58 and a low of 28. Pretty low. Moving into the weekend, Saturday starts off with no more rain and a mostly sunny sky. There will be a high of 49 and a low of 23, so the temperature drop will plan to stick around. And finally, Sunday will end our 5 days with a high of 42 and a low of 23. Partly cloudy skies will hang out for the majority of the day and help close out the week. There's no surprise about St. Patrick's Day having some rain, especially not in Murfreesboro. Keep 2 things in mind for Friday. Wear green and grab an umbrella. That's all I have for this week's weather. Come back on Monday for our next forecast so that you can stay in the know. Let's send it back to our anchors.
Thanks, Mary Beth. We're definitely looking forward to warmer weather, and I know I will be wearing green for St. Paddy's Day. Switching gears, Nashville is making new waves for motorsports fans around the area. The Fair Board Commissioner has voted in favor of renovations for Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, presented by Bristol Motor Speedway.
The expansion would include a 30,000-seat stadium, upgraded racing surface, and a state-of-the-art sound of absorption technology. With these upgrades, we will have the opportunity to bring NASCAR back to Nashville. The vote for this upgrade had a lot of differing opinions as people were worried about noise, pollution, and a large entertaining site in a residential area. There's a lot more information about the approval for the Speedway. Let's check and see what Matt has in store for us.
Hey guys, I know I'm excited for the Speedway, but did you guys know that the last NASCAR race at the fairgrounds was in 1984? The vote to approve the Speedway was really close with a 3-1 approval. Now, even though this was approved by the National Fair Board Commissioner, the process will now have to go through the Metropolitan Sports Authority, as well as the National Metro Council for consideration before the process of the renovation can move forward. We will definitely keep you updated on any further information. When we come back from break, I'll have a look ahead at the dance this weekend for our Lady Raiders and more MTSU athletics. Stick around.
Son, love is like the ocean. You have to tread the waters.
Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Jessica, will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. I could go back and change it all. If I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day, he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Natural disasters are a fact of life in the U.S. And between activities and school, chances are you won't be with your kids when they happen. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids can help your children feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
My text to emoji ratio has gotten a little out of hand.
A little?
Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
Welcome back. MTSU's women's basketball heads to Durham, North Carolina soon for their matchup in the opening round versus Colorado. But before they went on their way, we wanted to hear and see firsthand the preparation from the history makers themselves.
After hearing their name heard on Selection Sunday, the Lady Raiders are back in the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2021, and now Coach Rick Insell has his team gearing up for the road trip to Durham, North Carolina.
Well, we just want to get them running up and down the floor again. We hadn't practiced since, I hadn't been on the floor and touched the ball since Saturday night. Try to get their legs back under them, flush out their minds, just, more or less just get them back in tune.
Coming back from Frisco, Texas, MTSU found success from a great team effort along with conference tournament MVP, sophomore guard Jalen Gregory, who's more focused now on bigger hardware.
Really, the individual awards I really was not even worried about. I'm more focused on what this team can do together, and one of the goals we had was winning that conference tournament, and then now it's winning in the NCAA tournament.
And senior forward Courtney Whitson, who was here the last time the Lady Raiders went to the Big Dance, has the same expectations.
We won a championship, but our standards need to be even higher. So being in this position before, so like you said, making sure that we're coming in, we're attacking the day, I'm on the court, staying focused. We have so many different pieces. I tell people all the time, I don't know how you would scout us because we have so many different threats. So making sure that we're coming together as one, our coaches say having one heartbeat, so making sure that we're all on the same page.
And playing at Cameron Indoor Stadium, home of the hosting Duke Blue Devils, is an experience in itself. But Coach Rick Insell is focused on the game and isn't concerned with the hype around the storied venue.
It's a big venue, and a lot of people, might consider that the mecca of basketball. And, it's a great place because of Coach Krzyzewski and all that. But, hey, we're in the NCAA tournament. That means more to me than going to play at Cameron Indoor. I can go up there and visit that when I retire.
Reporting from Murfreesboro, Ryan Martinulich, MTN Sports.
Number 11 seeded Middle Tennessee will have their chance to dance Saturday at 6 p.m. Tickets are still on sale for $19 for those interested. We wish the best of luck to the Lady Raiders in this historic game. The baseball team is staying home at Reese Smith Jr. Field this weekend. To start on a good note, MTSU's Jaden Ham was named TSWA Pitcher of the Week for his one-hit complete game last Friday. Now on to this week's games. After a rocky stretch of games for the Blue Raiders last week, the team looks to bounce back at home this weekend. Their home stretch starts with a single game against the Tennessee Tech Golden Eagles tonight at 6 p.m. Then another chapter is being added to the 100 Miles of Hate book with a weekend series versus the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. Friday's matchup will be at 6 p.m., Saturday at 3 p.m., and rounding it out at 1 p.m. game on Sunday. You can catch all the Blue Raiders games this week on ESPN Plus, or you can head down to the ballpark. Just like baseball, the softball team is also home this weekend for their upcoming games. Before we jump into the week's action, we want to give a congratulations to Shelby Eccles for winning CUSA Player of the Week, and Cameron Carthage for throwing the 13th no-hitter in Blue Raider history versus App State last weekend. Now for this week's action, the Lady Raiders will start with a game tonight at 6 p.m. against the Southeast Missouri State Redhawks. Then the weekend will see the start of conference play for the Lady Raiders with a series versus the UAB Blazers. The games will be Friday at 6 p.m., Saturday at 4 p.m., and a noon game on Sunday. You can head on down to MTSU's softball field to catch all the action.
Thank you for joining us tonight on Middle Tennessee News. If you missed this or any show, you can watch them on our website, middletennesseenews.net.
And make sure to follow us on our social media sites on Facebook /Middle Tennessee News or at Middle TN News on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. We'll see you next week.
Son, love is like the ocean. You have to tread the waters.
Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Jessica, will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all. If I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day, he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Natural disasters are a fact of life in the U.S. And between activities and school, chances are you won't be with your kids when they happen. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids can help your children feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But
I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
My text to emoji ratio